राज्य मंत्री और मंचासीन गणमान्य अधिकारियों से अनुरोध करता हूं कि कृपया दीप प्रज्वलन कर कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ करें। साथ ही केंद्रीय सरकार के गीत और नाटक प्रभाग के कलाकारों से अनुरोध करता हूं कि वे कृपया सरस्वती वंदना प्रस्तुत करें।
Proceeding with the day's ceremony, may I request Ms. Deepna Singh, Joint Director, DRI Headquarters, to please welcome our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, by presenting a memento.
धन्यवाद महोदया। अतिथिगणों के स्वागत के क्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए अब मैं श्रीमती भारती शर्मा, संयुक्त निदेशक DRI मुख्यालय से अनुरोध करता हूं कि वे माननीय वित्त राज्य मंत्री जी श्री पंकज चौधरी जी को स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट कर उनका स्वागत करें।
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Srimati Kadam Raj Lakshmi Appa Sahib, Joint Director, DRI Mumbai Zonal Unit, to kindly welcome Revenue Secretary Shri Sanjay Malhotra with a memento. Without further ado, may I please call upon Shri M.K. Singh, Director General DRI, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Honorable Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, माननीय वित्त राज्य मंत्री श्री पंकज चौधरी जी, Revenue Secretary, Chairman CBIC, members of CBIC, guests from foreign administrations, and all distinguished invitees. My greetings and warm welcome to all on the 65th Founding Day celebrations of the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. On Founding Day of any organization, two important questions we should ask. These are, has the organization working been true to its mandate? And second, has it enhanced its capabilities over the years to adopt the evolving challenges? Today, while we celebrate the achievements of yet another remarkable year, we do intend to introspect by keeping our focus on these questions. Madam, in the financial year 21-22, DRI made its presence felt through a record number of seizures in outright smuggling cases with total seizure value of over 20,000 crores. The year has been significant in terms of our fight against illicit drugs. We seized 3,400 kgs of heroin, 300 kgs of cocaine, and more than 20,000 kgs of cannabis, along with other drugs. Use of sophisticated concealment and extraction methods by the smuggling syndicates has emerged as a big challenge. And so is the use of courier agencies and postal cargo, as well as use of drones for smuggling, making a dent on the smuggling of gold. DRI seized 833 kgs of gold in 21-22. Red senders, cigarettes, foreign currency, wildlife, and areca nut are some other items seized during the year. Madam, on the commercial Smuggling in India report that will be released today sums up the cumulative efforts and experiences of DRI in countering smuggling, commercial frauds, and also our efforts in coordination and international cooperation. To carry forward the agenda of international cooperation in this region, we will be hosting the 8th Regional Customs Enforcement meeting later today, which is being attended by 18 delegates from 11 countries, along with distinguished representatives from World Customs Organization and UN Office of Drugs and Crime. DRI officers have time and again shown their unwavering commitment to the values and ethos of the institution. On this day, the officers of DRI once again renew their resolve to uphold its essence and ethics. DRI's Founding Day celebrations today also marks the commencement of activities to commemorate 60 glorious years of the Customs Act. My greetings to all on this occasion too. With these words, I once again extend a warm welcome to all. Thank you and Jai Hind.
धन्यवाद श्रीमान। अपने स्थापना दिवस के अवसर पर हर वर्ष की भांति इस वर्ष भी DRI अपनी वार्षिक पत्रिका भारत में तस्करी का वर्ष 2021-22 का अंक लेकर आया है। इस पत्रिका में पिछले वित्तीय वर्ष में DRI के प्रदर्शन के साथ साथ देश में तस्करी की प्रवृत्तियों का विश्लेषण एवं संगत आंकड़े भी दिए गए हैं।
May I please request our esteemed chief guest, Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, to kindly release the Smuggling in India Report 2021-22. Thank you. May I now invite Shri Sanjay Malhotra, Revenue Secretary, to kindly address the gathering.
Respected Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, Union Minister of State for Finance, Pankaj Chaudhary ji, Chairman CBIC, members of the CBIC, the DG, DRI, dignitaries, foreign dignitaries, the whole DRI team, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me congratulate the whole DRI fraternity present over here and across the country on the 65th founding day of DRI. DRI has had a very, very long and distinguished record. Completing 65 years is in itself not a small achievement. Many credits, many achievements to their credit. Let me wish them all the very best for the year ahead. I'm sure number of challenges with them. It's a small team, but the challenges are huge. We have got a huge, long border, both sea as well as land. And then, of course, we have smuggling through the air route as well. So with this small team, the challenge is always going to be as to how we use the resources more efficiently. And no doubt there, as you have been doing, but there is always need to improve. How do we use more and more technology so that we are not intrusive on the one hand, and at the same time we are more purposive, more targeted, and we are able to do the job that is given to us. So with these words, I mean, we have the FM, I'm aware, has to go, so I'll keep it very brief. Let me congratulate you once again, and also the winners for the various prizes, the Bravery Awards, as well as the Seva Samman Awards. Many congratulations to them. I'm sure this will spur and motivate all of you others present over here to aspire for such awards. In the end, once again, many, many congratulations on the founding day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Since its establishment on the 4th of December 1957, DRI has played a pivotal role in detecting smuggling and commercial frauds in India. As an annual tradition, DRI puts together a film demonstrating the signature cases booked in recent times. However, due to some unfortunate technical glitches, we are not able to present that to you right away. We hope that we'll be able to resolve this and play that for you subsequently.
कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए अब मैं माननीय वित्त राज्य मंत्री श्री पंकज चौधरी जी से अनुरोध करता हूं कि वे कृपया सभा से अपने विचारों को साझा करें।
माननीय केंद्रीय वित्त एवं कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स मंत्री श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमन जी, राजस्व सचिव संजय मल्होत्रा जी, सीबीआईसी के अध्यक्ष श्री विवेक जौहरी जी, महानिदेशक DRI श्री मोहन कुमार सिंह जी, यहाँ उपस्थित अन्य देशों के मेहमान, अधिकारीगण और उपस्थित सभी अतिथिगण। आज मुझे राजस्व आसूचना निदेशालय के 65वें स्थापना दिवस के अवसर पर आयोजित इस समारोह में अपनी बात रखते हुए अत्यंत प्रसन्नता हो रही है। 1957 में DRI की स्थापना के समय भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था का आकार छोटा और प्रकृति नियंत्रित रही थी। चुनौतियां तब भी थीं एवं चुनौतियां अब भी हैं। तब से वर्तमान समय तक लंबी अवधि में न सिर्फ अर्थव्यवस्था के आकार में विस्तार हुआ है, बल्कि इसकी प्रकृति एवं संरचना की जटिलता में भी अत्यधिक वृद्धि हुई है। इन सब के बावजूद तत्कालीन समय से वर्तमान समय तक DRI ने अपनी एक अलग पहचान बनाई है। मुझे यह जानकर अत्यंत प्रसन्नता हुई कि राजस्व आसूचना निदेशालय अपने एक पूर्व अधिकारी को उनके योगदान के लिए उत्कृष्ट सेवा सम्मान से सम्मानित कर रहा है। इसके अतिरिक्त 2 अन्य अधिकारियों को वीरता पुरस्कार भी दिया जा रहा है। इस प्रशंसनीय उपलब्धि को प्राप्त करने के लिए मैं सभी अधिकारियों को बधाई देता हूँ। गत कुछ माहों में DRI द्वारा नशीले पदार्थों की बड़ी जब्ती की गई है। खांडला में लगभग 205 किलोग्राम हेरोइन की जब्ती, पीपावाव में लगभग 400 किलोग्राम हेरोइन की जब्ती, अक्टूबर में 50 किलोग्राम कोकीन की जब्ती के बड़े कार्यों को अंजाम दिया गया है। एक तरफ यह गर्व का विषय है कि DRI ने पेशेवर तरीके से इन कार्यों को अंजाम दिया, वहीं दूसरी तरफ यह चिंता का विषय भी है कि देश के सामने खड़ी चुनौतियाँ कितनी गंभीर हैं। ये भी सत्य है कि भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था हमारे माननीय वित्त मंत्री के निर्देशन में लगातार प्रगति कर रही है। इसलिए जाहिर सी बात है कि चुनौतियां अभी और बढ़ेंगी। इतिहास गवाह रहा है कि विकास के साथ आपराधिक चुनौतियों में वृद्धि होती है। गत दिनों की जब्ती ये बताने के लिए पर्याप्त है कि आप लोगों की सतर्कता के बावजूद देश में ड्रग्स की तस्करी के मामले सामने आ रहे हैं। हम सभी जानते हैं कि ड्रग्स का अधिकाधिक सेवन युवा ही करते हैं। इस प्रकार ड्रग्स हमारे युवाओं अर्थात हमारे देश के भविष्य को खोखला बना रहा है। इसलिए ड्रग्स पर हमें जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति अपनानी है। सरदार पटेल के भारतवर्ष के भौगोलिक एकीकरण का पश्चात युगदृष्टा प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने भारतवर्ष को आर्थिक एकीकरण किया। आर्थिक एकीकरण के पश्चात चुनौतियों की प्रकृति में बदलाव हुआ है। इसलिए मुझे ये कहना होगा कि आप लोगों का कार्य थोड़ा मुश्किल हुआ है। इसके बावजूद जिस प्रकार हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी द्वारा आपको खुलकर कार्य करने की आज़ादी दी गई है, हमारी माननीय वित्त मंत्री महोदय द्वारा जिस प्रकार आप लोगों को समर्थन दिया गया है, मुझे दृढ़ विश्वास है कि आप लोग इन चुनौतियों का सफलतापूर्वक सामना करेंगे। मैं देश के एक छोटे से सेवक के रूप में आपको अपना संपूर्ण समर्थन एवं सहयोग जारी रखूंगा। मुझे पता है कि DRI लगभग 800 अधिकारियों का एक छोटा सा समूह है, लेकिन यहाँ मैं याद दिलाना चाहूँगा कि हमारी धरती पर ऐसे वीर योद्धा हुए हैं जो एक अकेले ही 100 के बराबर होते थे और युद्ध में उनकी गिनती नहीं बल्कि उनकी शक्ति मायने रखती थी। गुरु गोविंद सिंह जी के इन्हीं वीरों से प्रेरणा लेकर आज मैं कहता हूँ कि DRI 800 अधिकारियों का एक छोटा समूह नहीं बल्कि 80,000 की पूरी फौज है, जहाँ एक एक अधिकारी 100 तस्करों पर भारी है। आपकी उपलब्धियां बताती हैं कि आप लोग जिम्मेदारी पूर्वक काम करते रहे हैं। मुश्किल हालातों को आप लोगों ने अच्छे तरीके से संभाला है और देश को कई समस्याओं से बचाया है। अंत में मैं केवल ये नहीं कहूँगा कि आप लोग चुनौतियों का सामना करें, बल्कि मैं ये कहूँगा कि आप लोग आर्थिक अपराधों को रोकने की दिशा में नए नए कीर्तिमान स्थापित करें, क्योंकि तू शाही है परवाज है काम तेरा, तेरे आगे आसमां और भी है। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
महोदय, आपके इन प्रेरणादायक एवं मार्गदर्शी शब्दों के लिए आपका हार्दिक धन्यवाद। अपने स्थापना दिवस के उपलक्ष्य पर DRI अदम्य साहस का परिचय देने वाले अपने अधिकारियों की सराहना हेतु उन्हें वीरता पुरस्कार प्रदान करता है। पिछले वित्तीय वर्ष में हमारे 2 अधिकारियों, जिनमें की एक युवा महिला अधिकारी भी शामिल है, ने अपने आधिकारिक कर्तव्य के निर्वहन के दौरान विशेष साहस का परिचय दिया और अपनी सुरक्षा एवं जान की परवाह किए बिना ड्रग तस्करों को अवरुद्ध कर उन्हें पकड़ने में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई। वीरता पुरस्कार पाने वाली पहली अधिकारी हैं DRI मुंबई जोनल यूनिट में पदस्थापित उपनिदेशक सुश्री मिशेल क्वीनी डेकोस्टा। माननीय केंद्रीय वित्त मंत्री, वित्त राज्य मंत्री जी एवं मंच पर उपस्थित अन्य अतिथियों से अनुरोध है कि वे कृपया मंच के आगे की ओर आकर वीरता पुरस्कार हेतु चयनित अधिकारियों को पुरस्कृत करें।
In a case involving seizure of 1.9 kg methamphetamine tablets, a controlled delivery operation was undertaken by DRI Mumbai Zonal Unit. Having been trapped in the chase, the well-built Nigerian suspect panicked and jumped from the roof of the building. Ms. Michelle Queenie DaCosta, Deputy Director, showed exceptional presence of mind to predict his actions and continued to chase the suspect, crossing over a barbed wire fence in the process. Being separated from the rest of her team, she was able to physically restrain the suspect till the time reinforcements arrived. Thus, Ms. DaCosta showed unflinching commitment while responding to the call of duty, and her exemplary courage ensured success of this operation. Ms. Michelle Queenie DaCosta, please.
धन्यवाद महोदया। वीरता पुरस्कार पाने वाले दूसरे अधिकारी हैं DRI कोलकाता जोनल यूनिट में धन्यवाद महोदय। वीरता पुरस्कार पाने वाले दूसरे अधिकारी हैं DRI कोलकाता जोनल यूनिट में पदस्थापित वरिष्ठ आसूचना अधिकारी श्री विपुल बिस्वास।
Based on intelligence, officers of DRI Kolkata Zonal Unit intercepted a truck on Durgapur Expressway at 7 in the evening in December 2021 on the suspicion that it was carrying some contraband. On being intercepted, the driver of the truck attempted to flee the spot and abandoned his vehicle. Shri Bipul Biswas, Senior Intelligence Officer, showed exemplary courage by relentlessly chasing the driver on the busy highway and jumped into the marshland on its side. Shri Biswas himself took fall twice during this chase, but he remained committed and played a crucial role in apprehending the driver. Almost 15,000 bottles of fentanyl syrup were recovered from the intercepted truck. Thus, the agility and bravery of Shri Biswas played a crucial role in the success of this anti-smuggling operation. Shri Bipul Biswas, please.
धन्यवाद महोदय। मंच पर उपस्थित सभी अतिथियों से अनुरोध है कि कृपया अपना अपना आसन ग्रहण करें।
The strength of any agency are its officers, and the legacy is our guiding strength. Each year, DRI honors its legendary officers with the DRI Utkrish Seva Samman. This year, we are privileged to honor Shri R. Gopal Nathan for his impeccable service to the nation. On his request, the award comprising of an appreciation scroll, a memento and a shawl was conferred upon him on the 1st of December 2022 at his residence by Shri Amitesh Bharat Singh, Additional Director General DRI Bangalore Zonal Unit. May we please have a round of applause for the winner.
अब मैं कार्यक्रम की मुख्य अतिथि माननीय केंद्रीय मंत्री वित्त एवं कॉरपोरेट कार्य श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमण जी से अनुरोध करता हूं कि वे कृपया अपने आशीष वचनों से सभा को संबोधित करें।
Namaskar. Revenue Secretary Shri Sanjay Malhotra, Chairman CBIC, Chief of the DRI, my colleague in the Council of Ministers, Shri Pankaj Chaudhary ji, and all officers of the DRI, past officers of the DRI, and also the former colleagues who have been part of the DRI. I welcome all of you and good morning to each one of you. It gives me great pleasure joining you all on the 65th founding day of the DRI. It should have actually been yesterday, but being Sunday, I think it was decided that we'll meet today. You're a very small but a lean and mean organization. There's no doubt in anybody's mind if you being small has kept you from being professionally excellent. You've shown excellence. You've actually proven that the size of the organization doesn't matter, but you have repeatedly shown each year by improving your own benchmark, pushing it upwards, making it more difficult for you, but achieving each year a better goal. So on that note, I congratulate the DRI for its performance over and over again in the last few years that I've noticed you closely. I'm sure it has been like this before too. I have said this before also, I think when I addressed you all, that the performance of the DRI has actually made you all more visible. You have had inherently a quality of lying low but performing. But your visibility is because of the way in which you have been cracking some of those absolutely unbelievable cases. And it is that momentum which has made all other agencies, if I may say so, also to think that the levels of performance are now being at a higher benchmark level. So there is a healthy competition among enforcement agencies, and I'm happy for it. I was briefly looking through the book that you've released on smuggling in India. Very quickly, I saw data in the form of a bar chart, or two bar charts, which brought a question to my mind which I thought I should place before you, for you all to think about it, or if I'm bringing in an artificial cause-effect relationship, having seen those bar charts. I've been closely monitoring the detection of smuggling in India, particularly of drugs and particularly of gold. When I was looking at the two bar charts which show gold imports into India, and also another which showed gold smuggling in India, I briefly saw a connect which may be an illusion to me. You may correct me subsequently. But I thought there seems to be some kind of a relationship between when smuggling gets detected or big numbers get detected, when therefore there is an indication that there is more smuggling of a particular item, in this case gold, there is also uske aage piche, meaning either before it or after it, there seems to be a very high import of gold. I do not know if there is a tendency or a cyclical impact of high import at some point in time in the year. The bar chart, if I can remember correct, showed that in July 21 and also March 21, I think, had very high imports of gold. And nearer, just before and after, there seems to also be a higher detection of smuggling, because the bar chart is obviously showing detection of the smuggling in gold. I do not know if there's a causal relationship, but I also think it gives me a thought to say if there is a pattern that you can learn from, if you may want to go back to several years of looking at high import, months with high import, and before and after that, if there is a correlation for detection. Does the officer, the DRI officers, see that there's more imports happening and gets more cautious? Or is it that naturally you are able to get actionable intelligence, and therefore you're able to detect more of the smuggling? I do not know what works which way, but it raised an interesting question in my mind, and I thought I should put it before you. If such, I've just done it off the cuff. I am sure if you do it in a systematic manner, in which is what you normally do, but if there is a way in which you're able to see a pattern emerging, and I'm going to be a bit mischievous in saying something, if there's a pattern emerging even in the detection of smuggling, it's convenient for me to notice that last month there's been lots of imports, and therefore this month I'm highly alert and I'm able to detect more. Or I'm anticipating that because Akshaya Tritiya is coming, people will consume more gold, more imports are happening, I should be alert. I don't know what works. But if in our country 800 kgs are being detected on an average per year, I'm sure this is an elephant in the room. Can we do a lot more? Data-based, artificial intelligence-based, better mapping of what works to bring in the cycle of gold smuggling into India. I've been arguing sometime with the media that it is not the customs duty on gold which determines the extent of smuggling. higher the duty, people feel, oh, there's greater leverage to be handled, and therefore there's more smuggling. And lower the counter-argument to it, lower the duty, less smuggling. No, smuggling seems to have its own cycle. Smuggling seems to have its own pattern. Not only in gold, but also I find drugs, particularly. Vivek Johri was telling me just now, the chairman CBIC was telling me just now, that cocaine has also started coming in a big way in this country. And again, here I want to ask a question. Is it because India is no longer just a transit country for smugglers? And is it because India is now becoming a consuming country? That you have paths for such things to come into the country which have not had a recorded history of that level of smuggling, such as cocaine now. And here again, is it because it's no longer transit, but it is a consuming country? There's a cause and effect relationship. And again there, would it help if we did a bit more of studying it to see what triggers it to this extent? I'm sure you're doing it. I'm not giving you a new idea, but a greater cause and effect relationship would help. When I was telling that you're a small but lean machine which works very, very effectively, and it actually stands out in terms of the performance that you've done considering your size. And I take this one example, which was absolutely a stunning example for many people who hadn't known much about DRI earlier. During the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, DRI could tell me that in several parts of the country, I think it was 14 destinations, where you destroyed in public view more than 44,000 kgs of drug which was seized. Unbelievable. That is not something which India would have known about DRI as your work, that we were able to destroy in public view with media, with eminent citizens of that part of the country, all sitting there and watching, and the entire finance ministry team sitting in South Block and North Block and watching it. This was one singular message that we were able to give, that DRI is alert and it shall not allow such illegal contraband goods coming into this country. That was an exceptional show of your performance and its strength. I was really impressed by that, and I heard many of my colleagues talk to me about it, and I would think that is the kind of spirit and momentum the DRI has to maintain even now. I would think that you would make sure that you shall not allow the smuggler to be smarter than you all. Smuggler cannot be smarter than you. He will leave a trail. He will leave some kind of evidence for you to touch, and he will certainly give you an indication of the modus operandi. And that is one of the reasons why you're successful, and you'll continue to be successful. But my eagerness is to see that each one of these cases, at the earliest possible time, comes to a logical conclusion. People read through the newspapers, this much of cocaine has been captured. I was glad that Pankaj Chaudhary ji recalled what was captured in Kandla, what was captured elsewhere, and so on, when he spoke here. But the question which remains in the mind of the ordinary citizen is, take care, but what happened? How many people went to the prison for it? Take care, what happened? But after that, how many people were actually taken to task? And even better, the question is, what happened? Who's actually the big fish behind it? You're catching all those small fries, the peddlers, the traffickers, the mules. Is that sufficient? To gain public confidence, that's not sufficient at all. To just capture or arrest, prosecute, and to have conviction of smaller mules, the carriers of this horrible substance, is important and it is necessary. But what happens? He is not just the person, he is a cog in the wheel. Are you able to bring the handlers of such matters who are behind the scene to face the law of the land? Unless, at least in a few cases, you are able to get those big fries who are actually behind these operations, the constant question which remains in the citizen's mind is, it's all right, but who are the people who are perpetrating this? Which is the global mafia which actually controls this? Can there be a greater visible approach to bringing them to the books to face the law and also be seen convicted? On that too, I would think there is a need for us to work hard and make sure that the logical conclusion is not just for the fellow who was caught with a small sachet or a kg of cocaine, but those who are sending mountains of it into this country, which you're detecting. But who actually can fund that mountain? Who actually is following the trail and making it all possible? We need to have greater access to international cooperation, greater access to the bilateral agreements that you have with your fellow agencies in those countries, and greater global coordination for better sharing of intelligence in order to get all this achieved. Technology, of course, is one thing which I repeatedly say in every one of our sessions, whether it is for financial inclusion or for any such activity, but more importantly, for detecting crime. Technology today has enabled us to do things which we earlier couldn't have imagined. But yet, that technology is a double-edged sword. And that is why I repeatedly request that every now and then you should have firewalls built around your systems, a mock check if there is any hacking attempt which is happening. How can you build better protective walls so that your data is not infiltrated into? So those exercises are as important as protecting the borders of the country. Protect your data, protect those systems that you have technologically, so that no ingress is made by anyone. So that is another important activity I would like you to undertake, because you need to protect the data, because we are so now reliant on technology. The very same technology which comes as a tool for your functioning can also become a double-edged dagger facing you yourselves. So make sure that you take enough steps to protect your technology, the technology on which you're relying, the systems on which you're relying. I would suggest, therefore, and if it is workable, if the DRI and the CBIC and the revenue think it's workable, and I'm sure today too you're going to be discussing, but a day or 2 day long meet specifically to see how global cooperation, particularly among those countries with whom you have a bilateral agreement, and agencies like the Interpol and many others with whom you have almost a daily sharing of information and seeking of help, you should hold a 2 day clear, well-focused a symposium, call it a workshop, to understand how better global interactions and cooperation can work, how better timely sharing of information can work, how to differentiate between any intelligence that comes from those which are actionable intelligence, and how better using technology we are able to crack the smuggler so that he is not smarter than us. Smuggler cannot be smarter. I'm repeating that line, not that it is anything which is like a motto or so, but I think it has a purpose. So I would think if it is workable, there should be a global meet And particularly in the year when India is doing the G20 presidency, this would be absolutely critical. Organizations like the FATF should be called. You should be able to see what kind of history have they tracked of countries where such misuse is happening, and to learn from that. With these words, I think I would wish DRI a very bright and many more decades of success. India's safety, economic security lies in your hands, and each one of you all have performed so well, and I wouldn't overdo if I recall the wonderful achievement of the lady officer and also the male officer, both of whom have risked their lives and protected. I also praise the service rendered by Mr. Gopal Nathan, whom you yesterday conferred the award on, and I'm sure many more of you are here who will be recognized by DRA, recognized by the Finance Ministry for the immense work that you have done already and you're likely to do in the future as well. So all the very best, and I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you, ma'am, for articulating your expectations from DRI and the CBIC. We are grateful for your generous praise. Thank you so much, ma'am. May I now request Shri Abhay Kumar Srivastav, Additional Director General, DRI, Delhi Zonal Unit, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, and all the esteemed attendees, a very good morning. First and foremost, on behalf of DRI, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, for sparing her valuable time to grace the 65th founding day of DRI. Madam, your esteemed presence and words of encouragement will go a very long way in inspiring the officers of DRI. We offer our sincere gratitude to Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Shri Pankaj Chaudhary ji, for gracing the occasion and for sharing his valuable thoughts with our officers. We are immensely grateful to Revenue Secretary Shri Sanjay Malhotra ji for sharing his words of wisdom. We remain indebted to the Chairman and Member Investigation CBIC for their constant support, guidance and encouragement. We sincerely thank senior customs officials from different countries for traveling to India to participate in the 8th Regional Customs Enforcement Meeting and to be part of this Founding Day celebrations. We thank all the attendees, including the customs attaches of foreign customs administrations, who took time out of their busy schedules to join us for this function. My profound thanks to all the retired senior officers and probationers for gracing the occasion. Our special appreciation and acknowledgement for the media personnel and all those whose unqualified support and untiring efforts have made this program successful. Madam, the entire DRI family will not spare any effort in achieving the goal of defending the nation at all times. In the words of Swami Vivekananda, we shall arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you.
धन्यवाद महोदय। अब मैं सभागार में उपस्थित सभी अतिथियों से अनुरोध करता हूं कि कृपया राष्ट्रगान के लिए अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएं।
We come to the end of the inaugural function of 65th DRI Day celebrations. The audience is requested to kindly remain seated until the dignitaries on the dais exit the hall. We invite you all to please join us for high tea in the foyer or the atrium. Guests seated in the front rows may please use the exit on their right to enter the atrium, while those seated in the back rows are requested to use the exit at the back. I request the RCM delegates to please assemble outside hall number 2 and 3 on the first floor at 12:45 p.m. for registration and subsequent proceedings. Thank you. Jai Hind.